Hello, welcome to Post, a new feature from SHOWstudio this season, where we offer a succinct summary of the show that we have just watched. We've just watched Marni Autumn/Winter 19, which took place yesterday in Milan. Now, one thing that was evident is that the creative director, Risso, has obviously taken the house in a very new direction. But I want to ask my panellist, what is the highlight of new for you?
I would say Jess Mabry is their girl, and how she represents who the Marni Girl is now and maybe going forward, and how she's in the show, she's in the campaign, and I feel like I can connect with who that girl is and I understand who the Marni Girl is. I also feel for probably one of the first times that I will be looking to Marni to use take bits for clients for music videos, red carpets, that kind of thing.
I think that what's really interesting about the new season is that it's a real turnaround from last season in terms of aesthetic. I think that Francesco has been saddled with this reputation that Marni has for intellectualism, and he's reinterpreting that in a new way, away from what it was. And I think that he's doing that by playing with his process and really exploring these whole new ideas and collections rather than creating, collections that are very similar to one another, to challenge the ideas that have been established about the brand already. And I think over time he'll create a body of work, and that'll make a lot more sense to look at all together. So I think at the moment he's just challenging himself, and that's why this season is so different aesthetically to last season.
For me, what felt really fresh was the fact that he wasn't following the template that a lot of other brands are in Milan. We didn't see the same front row of influencers. People weren't being dressed in Marni in the same way that we've seen on the streets for the rest of Milan Fashion Week. And I think that considered and confident inconsistency as a strategy to bring newness and interest to the actual catwalk show itself is a really smart way of harnessing the short attention spans which we have in our digital era without kind of kowtowing to the influencer economy and democracy out there, which will of course continue to ensure that he resonates with the Marni customer base, who is that intellectual, very considered woman who potentially the tactics that the other brands are following, it just wouldn't appeal to.
So new, challenging, breaking new ground and carving a new path. It's all something that evidently Francesco is taking on with great skill. And I think, as the panelists brought out, this is both in terms of aesthetic and the change that we saw from the last season to this season, and the change we will no doubt continue to see season to season. It's also in terms of marketing and how that is different from the other brands at Milan Fashion Week and their typical ways of working with influencers and with the digital marketing concept. And then finally, it's with casting and the originality that he has there, both in campaigns and in terms of the model that closes his show and what that represents for the new customer and, of course, the Marni woman. So thank you very much.